A training ride on Triple Slab. Woohoo! Even the trick up to Triple Slab is rough enough to provide a good warm-up. We call it Triple Slab due to 3 tricky rock faces in a row. But essentially this is just one very long hill climb where you can choose to do easy or difficult lines. I'm very keen to see how the new Beta Xtrainer goes in these conditions. And of course, the little Italian princess is eating it up. I'm still on the stock suspension, which is too soft for my weight, but it still works fine for low speed stuff like this. And here is Triple Slab coming up. Unfortunately, the 4-wheel drive vehicles have chewed out the middle slab and made it virtually vertical. So, time for a U-turn. Andrew and I agree it would be fun to try, but only with a few mates spotting us. We haven't tried vertical faces this big yet. Andrew is looking very comfortable on the Beta XR300 through here. He used to bounce around a lot on his previous cross trainer, and he says overall he's been happier with the more rugged suspension on the RR and its better inline stability. We have been swapping bikes quite a bit lately, and I'm keen to do a comparison once I get the cross trainer suspension set up for my weight. This sort of terrain really keeps you focused on picking the right line and balance, throttle and clutch control. A small lapse in concentration, things go pear-shaped very quickly. Since we don't have the balls to practice on the triple step today, we decide to focus on another specific area. This is a great opportunity to try different strategies for an obstacle and refine techniques. This is a tough line as the rear wheel spins the moment you get the weighting or clutch control wrong. And right next to it is one of our favourite spots for practicing splats. A trolls technique where you use a deliberate wheelie to drive the rear wheel into, then up and over an obstacle. I wonder if Andrew will try the splat. He said he's trying to ride like an old man nowadays and avoid pushing himself too much because he was getting so many injuries last year. But it doesn't look as though he's taking it easy today. Sure enough, he goes for the splat.
I did it really well.
You actually don't need to do a splat because that's not a vertical face, but it's still good practice using that as a kicker.
I don't know, I just hit the stage where it constantly throttle.
We move a bit higher up the hill to find some other tricky spots.
Yeah, you need run up for that bit.
This is pretty hard work for Gumbies in their mid-50s, and we start to make more mistakes as the fatigue sets in.
That was hoping. Trying to turn around and have the momentum to nail that tree root. Nice work.
Oh, not really.
Yeah, but you got up the toughest bit. Then you just need momentum for the tree roots. That's better at least. Yes, I'm just trying to get the momentum to get up that and the next bit too. So this is Andrew's commitment to riding like an old man, doing extreme terrain.
I got 2 feet further. I think 2 feet further every time is old man territory.
I think you are getting tired.
Crash number 1412A. I launched I've got to learn to lock the front wheel over that. I succeeded, but the re-entry into the stratosphere wasn't as smooth as we expected.
Yeah, well the problem is you got so much bumpy stuff that throws you offline before you hit the next bit.
Even with our subtropical winter setting in, this is hot, sweaty work. So we just cruise up the rest of the hill to get some air running through our gear. Man, we love this shit. Finding tricky terrain, picking the worst lines, practicing on one obstacle, always pushing ourselves to do a little bit better.
Damn! My foot hit something and almost stuffed that up.
4 years ago, I just used to ride easy flowing stuff and thought guys were idiots to ride stuff like this. And they probably are, but now we've become idiots too. And it all becomes highly addictive. Speaking of addictions, I really want to crack the secret of those slow Jarvis 12 o'clock wheelies, starting from a standstill. So I try a few while there's a tiny bit of energy left before we put the bikes back on the trailer. And remember guys, old riders never die, we just smell that way.